Alright, yeah, welcome back to some more Magic Arena, and we're back once again with our green-white Divine Visitations token list. So, without further ado, let's get into the games, and I'll see you there. Okay, we're in, and we've got double Legion's Landing, and that is all. I think we can do better than this hand. I mean, it's a serviceable hand, but I think we'll die before we even get towards this Visitation at that rate. This one is very defensive. I don't want to go down any further. We can defend ourselves. Let's do it. Another fountain. Can go to the Shadow Realm. Alright. A tapped Memorial. Well, we can play that on turn 2 if we don't get anything nice. So let's just get the fountain down. Okay, we might be up against tokens. They're in for a wild surprise. This is going to be a token off. Yes. The Magic the Gathering Russian equivalent. Oh, no, it's banned. Okay. It's Turbo Fog. Everyone's favourite. Most likely, anyway. Okay, let's just play History Benalia. Let's start trying to pressure our opponent, and then the following turn we can Tribunal their Gift of Paradise to just pinch their mana a bit. Unless they just go land to Teferi here, and then of course the Tribunal hits Teferi instead. Interesting. Interesting. Well, fun fact, we can actually go Legion's Landing, and then we can Convoke off of our Summoning Sick tokens, which is pretty cool. I think we will do it pre-combat. Tap the Summoning Sick Knight. We might want the lifelink for some reason on an attack. And of course, the non-Summoning Sick one's getting in. So yeah, just pinching their mana is a great way to slow down Turbo Fog and make them use their Root Snares and Pause for Reflections earlier than maybe they want to. So let's get rid of the Gift of Paradise. The longer I can keep them off any kind of Planeswalker shenanigans, the better. And we actually have a next turn flipped Legion's Landing as well, so we have stuff to do through counter spells. There's a Chemisters, okay. So let's see what they do. Is it just going to be land into what? They don't always have the Chemisters inside. I am just going to run this right into... Oh yeah, definitely now I'm going to run this right into a Settle the Wreckage. I get the mana from it. It taps them out for this Dawn of Hope. And obviously, the mana's super useful. We get a Flip Legion's Landing. So, I don't think there's much downside to this. Other than not getting our damage in. So do we hit you for 9? Probably not. I expect this is the first of many, many fogs. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, let's try for this. See if they're going to let it happen. They are. Okay. Good stuff. Good stuff. There's the Chemisters. From hand. So their hand must be full of gas, because they don't want to discard any of it. Alright, what's happening? Show me the way. We've got a pretty decent board presence now, so it's pretty good. I like it. I think I'm going to draw here, because if we draw a land off the top, I actually still get to make a Dawn of Hope token. Yeah, sweet. Sunpetal Grove. Swing with my Duders. Get fogged or settled. Either's fine by me. There it is. There's the fog. It should be noted that although we seem to be in a good position, this matchup is pretty abysmal for us, honestly. There's the Chemisters from hand. Yeah, if they even remotely get to do what they want to do, like, I don't think we can beat them. Since we are a creature-focused deck, and a relatively slow, grindy one at that, it basically preys upon us. But as it stands, we've kind of got the tools to interact with them. And we've already started forcing them to use their fogs before they've even got their win con down on the board, so it's a pretty nice place to be. Another discovery. How many cards are they down to now? 40. You have to worry when they get to around 30 cards. When it's around 30, if they've got a Planeswalker in play, then they can start doing Nexus shenanigans fairly consistently. Alright, so end step Dawn of Hope. Take a toke and gain some life. And again, we will draw here, because we can actually make a token even from the Endanto. Ooh, March the Multitudes. Alright, well, this isn't going to stop me doing an all attack. I can use the Vigilant tokens here to make some soldiers, which is pretty good. Wicked. Alright, and then I'm not going to draw here. So we're at the point now where every single attack is lethal, so they have to have a fog every single turn, in addition to putting down their win cons. I mean, Teferi Tick Up manages to hold up in a Root Snare, so it's not surprising, but
I can no longer stand
it's
by
not terrible either.
You know what? I'm not done yet.
Okay, let's see if we can get them. Question becomes, do I actually march before the untap? I think I do. So there's the untap. We can do X4 on March of the Multitudes. The thing is that it's not actually changing the clock. We still present lethal and we still have to contend with a fog. It's just, I guess I'm playing around Seal Away more than anything. We will draw. Just keep drawing, just keep drawing. Another settles a dead card. Okay, so, I mean, I'm going to go for the Conclave Tribunal here. I'm going to do this pre-combat because if they do have a Settle the Wreckage, then they'll want to be using that over countering this Tribunal if they run counter magic. Okay. But yeah, the alternative is that I can attack him with everything, get fogged, and then use the night tokens to convoke so that I can make another token. But we're presenting lethal anyway, so let's go 2, 4, 5, 6, and then an additional one. And one after that, just in case he has 2 Seal Aways. I don't think they run Seal Away, but you never know. Let's settle the wreckage. Alright. This gives us a ton of mana, so I'm happy with that. You. Boom. And pass. The only downside is they've bought themselves a turn. But what can they do with their turn? That is the question. We've taken care of a Teferi. Do they have another one? They haven't been playing them up until this point when they could. There's a Khan. Let's see what it reveals. Ah, the absolute worst combination of cards it could have given him. Alright, let's go do Gift of Paradise, I guess. Because I can't stop Khan from minusing and getting that Nexus, so there's an extra turn right there. Just pass him with Settle the Wreckage mana open. Huh. I wonder what they're going to do when I attack. History of Benalia, eh? Well, this Flourish allows me to attack him with less creatures to threaten anything I want. How do I want to go about this? So I could save my mana for the Dawn of Hope, I could play Benalia, or I could Flourish. I don't think Flourishing is the correct move, because it doesn't threaten lethal, and that's the important part. Benalia also doesn't do the same. I can make 3 tokens with Dawn of Hope, which isn't lethal, so I think Benalia is the correct move. Should really do this post-combat, to be perfectly honest, but here we are. I think Benalia is the correct move, because it allows me to swing at my opponent and still make some tokens as well. The more they settle me, the easier it is to rebuild. So yeah, they're going to let this go because it's not lethal. And my opponent could just win right here, to be honest, so we'll have to see. Do I try to draw into my other tribunal? What's my other options? What other cards could I draw? I don't think I can get much more than an additional tribunal, but then again, I have lethal in play, so I might as well try to exile this Khan, which I think will be game. Yeah, it's just another History Benalia. Which the clock isn't changing, I've still got another Dawn of Hope token, so I think I pass. Just hold my stuff in hand. I'm also a little worried. If my opponent is running Settles, then maybe they're running Cleansing Novas, which would suck. Sinister Sabotage. Alright. Nothing was going to resolve that my opponent didn't want to. Land into Teferi. If you got Teferi, I'm probably going to lose. Probably not Teferi, because they haven't Windmill Slammed it. Gift of Paradise. Okay. It's a shame I'm not running Field of Ruins, because they've just attached it to a non-basic. I could have Field of Ruined that off, but here we go. Yeah, so here's the Nexus. I think he's going to try and go for infinite turns by the looks of things. There he goes, shuffles Nexus back into his deck. Boop. Does he have another Nexus? He doesn't need one. He can just simply fog me for the turn. And, well, I'll give you a fog over a settle, I guess, because I actually would rather not have to rebuild completely. Just easier. But yeah, I think at this stage in the game, I expect this to be an 0-2 for my opponent. I don't think we can win this at all. Yeah, there's Search for Escanter, and it will flip. Womp womp. That'll do it, pig. That'll do it. Down to the deadly 30 cards. Let's just make our token and tap out as best we can anyway. If he wants to Nova me, he can Nova me. The only thing I have to respond to now is the Nexus of Fates. There's Teferi, and I'm going to scoop it up. Okay, that's enough. The combination of all three of those is game. If you see that combination, scoop immediately. You cannot win. Okay, bring in the Ixalan's Bindings. Go down the Settler Wreckages. We also have the Immortal Sun, which is pretty good. Silent Gravestone does nothing. They don't interact with their graveyard. And as far as the win con's concerned, I think Dawn of Hope is a little bit better than Divine Visitation, sadly. So let's go down the Visitations. We want to be nice and cheap with our tokens and get them early. Also, we have the Immortal Suns for their Planeswalkers because they can't win without them. And we also have our Ixalan's Bindings as well to lock them out. So hopefully we can manage to do that. We'll have to see. I mean, they probably will bring in Cleansing Novas since I did showcase a lot of enchantments there. So this is by no means a one game, even with all of that sideboard hit. We are going to play first, looking for an aggressive hand, and this is reasonably aggressive. If we get one land, then we have a History of Benalia on 3. It's a shame we have to keep the Seal Aways in. Actually, I should have cut those for probably any creature, really. Seal Away does nothing. So that was my bad. A little hasty on the sideboard tech there. Okay, well, Legion's Landing number 2 gets another Vampire token. so it's whatever, I guess. Yeah, I forgot I was running these, to be honest. Ah, tap land. I'm not in a position to be playing off curve here. I do not have the time, because here comes Forest into Gift of Paradise. Yeah. Who's surprised? Not me. Okay, which means next turn it could be Teferi. But if he Teferis, then I do have Ixalan's Binding. We know he's running counter spells, but he might not have one in hand. Possibility that's the case. We just have to go for it, though. We have a flipped Legion's Landing, so next turn could be the Immortal Sun as well. So if this is like Khan, he's trying to manually tap his Gift of Paradise, which is bugged, so you cannot do that. It's not a great time to be. Okay, I'm beyond confused. Swing, flipped Legion's Landing. My opponent, with the hasty fog, we get down the Immortal Sun, which is going to prevent any Planeswalkers from interacting with us. Alright, that might be Settle the Wreckage right there, but we're drawing additional cards every turn, so... Let's just go in with the Night tokens. Let's try and hit them for 10. Playing around Settle the Wreckage, I can pretty much threaten lethal anyway. There's Nexus. It's a panic Nexus because he needs his answers. I think that means he hasn't got a Fog in hand, because a Fog is also effectively just a Nexus anyway, in the same sense. And he's had enough. Alright, nice. Easy game. Get wrecked, Turbo Fog. Alright, so now we can undo the mistakes that we made. So, Honor Guard and Diamond Mare are not very powerful cards, but neither is Seal Away. So we can get rid of Seal Away. Is there anything else in here that I would want to remove for that same reason? No. Okay. So let's just bring in... Diamond Mares and a Honor Guard, I guess. I think I'd rather have the colourless over the one white Honor Guard. Not that it really makes a difference. And I don't think this ability does anything. The life gain is irrelevant. If they are winning, then they're winning on an infinite combo, so it doesn't really matter that our life total is anything. Yeah, let's go with that. Straight creature beatdown. Surprisingly managed to get a game out of them, but for some reason they managed to pause for reflection on their own turn. I think they might have had a moment, a lapse of judgment. Okay, this has got the Dawn of Hope combo in it. It's not like the finest thing in the world, but we do also have the Ixalan's Binding. They scooped immediately to the Immortal Sun, so maybe we'll see them scoop to a Binding on Teferi or something like that. It's not a guaranteed win if we do that, but it is pretty difficult to win without Teferi, I would say, because he untaps the Gift of Paradise lands, which is 4 mana per turn. And it's also really good for that end of turn Nexus of Fate as well. So I'm going to get the Dawn of Hope down. It's going to allow us to draw into, hopefully, some wonderful pieces. But we are a little slow right now. So we're going to have to rely on things like this Ixalan's Binding. I wonder if, like, binding on Gift of Paradise is correct. Well, now I've got the Conclave Tribunal, so I wouldn't be testing that out. Do I want to play the Fountain, or do I just want to have this Memorial down? I don't want to commit too much into a Nova if he does run them. Is the frightening bit. Yeah, I guess I can. As I said though, the life total isn't really relevant, but it's an additional card draw, but in the same token, I can't really draw that additional card. Not on this turn. So it's a weird one. I don't think either line is correct or incorrect, to be honest. Opponent's dumped a hell of a lot of lands. So I guess that bodes well for us, or not, I don't really know. We'll see. And there's the Immortal Sun. Okay, well, now I do have a 2-mana play. Let's get Diamond Mare down. Name White. Opponent's wondering why the hell I'm running a Diamond Mare against their matchup. It's because I have dead cards. Dead cards in my deck. Too many. You don't see Turbo Fog very often. I think I've seen it twice in the past month or two. There's Teferi. He's going to be able to hold open the Sinister Sabotage we saw him dump earlier. We haven't seen him dump any right now, and there's no reason why he would side them out. So, we're going to go with the Conclave Tribunal to bait out the Sinister Sabotage. I'm going to decline all of this. It's going to be a big red light to my opponent. Swing at Teferi. See if we can bait out a fog.
Make another move.
Make another move. Will you let me, Teferi? Is that what you're going to do? You're going to let me? Alright, game 1 life. Get sabotaged. Yeah. I mean, he's not really at the point where his deck is thin enough to win, but it's not out of the question that he could win here.
No time for a break.
If he can chain Nexuses together, then he can ultimate this Teferi. He can also draw into 9 million counter spells as well, so... Tezzeret? Oh boy. I forgot they'd started running him.
It is the ideal subordinate.
Okay. He gets 5 mana on the untap here. I'm going to try and bind Teferi. Because again, Immortal Sun's really the one that we want to resolve. So I can't afford to draw any cards here. Legion's Landing. I mean, if he has Syncopate, then he's going to Syncopate me anyway, so I guess we could try and bait with a Legion's Landing. The fact that it's held doesn't mean too much to me. It could just be a Chemist's. But it at least gives me the knowledge that he has something in hand. I'm going to swing at Tezzeret. Not even blocking? Not even blocking. Alright, so this gets countered. Wow, it doesn't. Okay, goodbye to Teferi. And play Memorial. Unlocking the Immortal Sun for next turn. You must have, like, Blink of an Eye or a Nova. If he had the counter, there's no way he lets that happen.
Will always win.
Nexus of Fate, okay. That's fine. That doesn't mean much to me. Gets his additional draw for the turn, but he can't do that and Nexus in the same turn, so it means nothing to me. Gets another Nexus, yep. He's not really progressing his board too much, though, which is really good for us.
Let's see how you respond to genius.
But the more he digs with Tezzeret, the closer he comes to an answer to this Ixalan's Binding. Gets another Nexus, yeah. As I said, he's getting closer to that 30 card point where the consistency of hitting Nexus ever increases. Draws again.
You're still one step behind.
It's funny because he doesn't even have the opportunity to get the artifacts required to draw 2 additional cards with Tezzeret, which is really good. And lets us untap. Okay. So I'm going to attack Tezzeret. Start trying to ping down that life total of his. And not play anything here. I'm not entirely sure whether I should play the Immortal Sun. He's drawn so many cards. We'll see how he taps here, if he does go for the Fog. Or if he just lets it go. Because if he has the Sinister Sabotage, then this Immortal Sun's gone for good.
Try that again.
And how close is he to just winning? I feel like we have to go for it. I feel like I can't really take the risk. I don't think I've made my land drop for the turn, so we could flower, thin our deck. Gain some life and then go for the Immortal Sun. Decline that. I just think he's waiting for it though. So, you know what? History. And this one we'll draw off of. March of the Multitudes is interesting. It's taking a risk. Because he could just start comboing off. If he gets like Khan or Search for his Canter in combination with all of this stuff, then we could be in trouble.
Must be done.
But the fact that he passed his turn back to us suggests that his hand might not be ideal. Yeah, that pass. Oh my god. That is a beautiful pass right there. I am happy to see that. I think he's playing too cautiously. So we're going to get settled attacking Tezzeret here. Which I think I'm fine with. Because we get to flip the Legion's Landing. And even March the Multitudes in response. 1, 2, 3. Take Tezzeret to 1 if you don't settle me. You will, of course. He's gone through too many cards not to. Ah, Root Snare. Okay. But we gotta flip Legion's Landing anyway, so. No fuss there. When am I going to get a better time to do it? That's the problem. I don't know if I ever am going to get a better time. I need something to bait a counterspell, is what I need. And I think the March right here is that bait. So if we don't lose here, I'm going to March end step. He's going to counter it. And then hopefully that's all of his counters to allow me to resolve this Immortal Sun. The problem is that I don't even know if he would want to bother. If he's got enough fogs in hand, then this doesn't matter. It's such a weird spot to be in. I think I am playing a bit too cautiously though. Yeah, there's Cleansing Nova. There it is. So that gets his Teferi back. It would have destroyed the Immortal Sun anyway, so playing it there would have been incorrect. Well, it might have been correct, but it would have not panned out in the end. Yeah, let's resolve. Let's see if he can win.
We need to move quickly.
Survey says probably. If he has Nexus in hand, then he wins. I think I just needed, instead of like this Benalia, there's his Nexus. Instead of this Benalia, I needed to destroy another Ixalan's Binding. Tezzeret was like a big factor in him finding that Cleansing Nova. He's got 24 cards now. 24 cards, he's drawing 3 cards a turn. 4 Nexuses in his 23 card deck.
Keep up the pace.
You can draw an additional card here. And we haven't seen a single counterspell from him. Well, actually, we've seen 1 counterspell from him.
A master builds
Yeah, the fact that he's ticking up for his Thopter tokens here suggests to me that he, has the Nexus. And he's fairly confident that he can waste time not drawing cards with Tezzeret in order to get those 3 artifacts so that he can draw 2 cards instead. There's Chemisters. Knight of Autumn to destroy artifacts and enchantments. He had it all. So he can swing for 1. I guess maybe he doesn't want to, because if we seal it away, then he has to continue to tick up his Tezzeret. Which is, of course, not what you want to be doing. If he untaps here, he could Chemisters. I don't know if he's used them all at the moment, actually. He's used 2 there, and they're in his graveyard. So yeah, he could have a Chemisters here. Just discarding a Fog. Yeah, that's a good sign that this is game. I'm going to play this one out, though, because it is game 3. My only out at this stage is that my opponent whiffs. And I can't exactly go to sideboarding to better tech against this. I can be happy that I took a game. I didn't think I was even going to win 1 round with this one. It's just not the game, the matchup that a creature deck can ever beat. The whole point of it being Fog is to just take a dump all over creature decks. So Teferi's at 7. I have a hard time seeing him not play another Nexus here. And if he does that, then he can ultimate his Teferi and start exiling all my pieces, and I can't win from there. So it is not my turn. I wish it wouldn't say that it's my turn, because it's very confusing. It does show your Nexus turns up here now, though, so it's a little quality of life improvement, but
Hurry.
it is just straight up incorrect to say it's my turn when it isn't. So, draws 2 cards. If we see a Nexus, then that's game. Nexus. Draws, can still play Nexus. Just play Nexus. Just play it and I'll scoop. He's untapping. Letting me go? Let's just do this now. 4, 5, 6, 7. I guess there's a chance that he didn't draw Nexus, but unlikely. I think he's just BMing me. I think he's got a Nexus in his hand right now. Apparently not. We're a little short of Immortal Sun plus Ixalan's Binding, which is what I needed. We have to hit Teferi and get settled. Blocked, blocked, blocked. 3, 4, 5, 6. It really doesn't matter. I'm gonna get settled. So, settle me. Or pause. Sure. That also works. And then I'm going to Immortal Sun, and if they counter, then I'm gone. This is my only out now. Yeah, okay. I hope you guys have enjoyed anyway. This is going to be the end of this particular matchup. That is game. Cannot win at this point. My opponent ultimates their Teferi, starts exiling permanents, and we just lose from that point forward. We don't really have enough additional turns, and my opponent can beat us in 13 easily, so yeah, we're going to lose here. So hope you've enjoyed. If you have, then be sure to like, subscribe, hit that little bell icon. You know the drill, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.